Guys, we are all aware of the lawsuit of Elon Musk against OpenAI and the founding fathers of OpenAI for abandoning the original mission for profit. So initially it was Elon Musk claims to be set up as a non-profit organization, but ultimately it went for the for-profit organization. In this video, we're going to look at the reply that OpenAI gave against all of the allegations that Elon Musk had against OpenAI. So here is the reply from OpenAI on their blog post. And here they have also given some references of the email conversations between Elon Musk and the team of OpenAI. Now, this brings to a very important realization for myself is you need to be very careful even when sharing mails, because these mails, I think these are very private mails between two organizations, between two members, between Elon Musk, Greg, Sam Altman. And I find it very, I find it very bad that these sort of personal problems and, personal problems have led to sharing of these emails in front of the whole world. There they have mentioned about Google and Facebook, how great they are and how we need or OpenAI needs to compete with Google and Facebook. So such kind of conversation. So let us look through the entire blog post line by line and try to understand what goes on inside the minds of Elon Musk and the entire OpenAI team. So I've downloaded this on here so that I can mark it out. So we are here. The mission of OpenAI is to ensure AGI benefits to all humanities, which means both building safe and beneficial AGI and helping create broadly distributed benefits. So they're talking about building and sharing the benefits as well. We are now sharing what we have learned about achieving our mission and some facts about our relationship with Elon. So that's coming to public, and we are just about to see the relationship, the kind of relationship that OpenAI, the founders, had with Elon Musk. We intend to move to dismiss all of Elon's claims. So whatever the claims regarding the non-profit organization turning into for-profit organization, these all claims has been dismissed by the OpenAI team. So the first point that I have raised is we realize building AGI will require far more resources than we would initially imagined. So Elon said we should announce an initial $1 billion funding commitment to OpenAI. In total, the non-profit has raised less than $45 million from Elon and more than $90 million from other donors. When starting OpenAI in late 2015, Greg and Sam had initially planned to raise $100 million. Elon in an email said, we need to go with a much bigger number than $100 million to avoid sounding hopeless. So put in a good figure so that you sound hopeful. I think we should say that we are starting with a $1 billion funding commitment. I will cover whatever anyone else doesn't provide. So that was in 2015 when Tesla was still hanging around. We spent a lot of time trying to envision a plausible path to AGI. In early 2017, we came to realization that building AI will require vast quantities of compute. We began calculating how much compute an AGI might plausibly require. We all understand that we are going to need a lot more capital to succeed at our mission, billions of dollars per year, which is far more than any of us, especially Elon, thought we'll be able to raise as a nonprofit. So they have given reference to this email. Let's go to the reference. In this reference, we see that the mail has been written from Elon Musk to Greg and Sam. Block sounds good. Assuming adjustments for neutrality versus being YC-centric, that's another company. I would favor positioning the blog to appeal a bit more to the general public. So what Elon had in mind is to put in a more general public appeal, as he does with Tesla as well. There's a lot of value to having the public root for us to succeed, and then having a longer, more detailed and insight-based version for recruiting with a link to it at the end of the general public version. We need to go with a much bigger number than $100 million, and we are starting with, let's say, $1 billion funding commitment. So this is real. I will cover whatever anyone else doesn't provide. Now, template seems fine apart from shifting from a vesting cash bonus as default, which can be optionally be turned into YC, that's a company, or potentially SpaceX stock. Okay, so this was what Elon Musk had in mind. Let's go back to the blog. So where were we? So we are here. The first point is that they realized that building AGI requires far more resources than that initially imagined. The next is that that is OpenAI, and Elon recognized a for-profit entity would be necessary to acquire those resources. Now, here's an important thing. Elon, OpenAI states that even Elon was going for a for-profit entity, wanted to go for a for-profit entity, and we'll just see in a second. As we discussed, a for-profit structure in order to further the mission. Elon wanted to merge with Tesla and he wanted full control. Elon left OpenAI saying there needed to be a relevant competitor to Google DeepMind and that he was going to do it himself. He said he would be supportive of us finding our own way. So this is when Elon left. He wanted to create something big which would rival Google and DeepMind, which means he also had in the back of the mind that OpenAI is not going to be the one which is going to crash and compete with Google or DeepMind. So he left. And later we see this. In late 2017, we and Elon decided the next step for the mission was to create a for-profit entity. So this was decided. What OpenAI claims is that in 2017 itself, Elon knows, and he was also a partner in when we say that OpenAI wanted to go for a for-profit structure. Elon wanted majority equity, initial board control, and to be the CEO. In the middle of these discussions, he withheld the funding. He left OpenAI, but Reid Hoffman bridged the gap to cover the salaries and operations. So we couldn't agree to terms on for a for-profit with Elon because he felt it was against the mission for any individual to have absolute control over OpenAI. So here what it says that Elon Musk, it's pointing fingers to Elon Musk and saying that it was his will to turn the no-profit to a for-profit organization. And OpenAI was not ready to give the full power, absolute control over the OpenAI to Elon. He then suggested instead merging OpenAI into Tesla. Okay. In early February 2018, Elon forwarded us an email suggesting that OpenAI should attach to Tesla as its cash cow. So this is interesting, commenting that it was exactly right. Tesla is the only path that could even hope to hold a candle to Google. Even then, the probability of being a counterweight to Google is small. It just isn't zero. So this is the mail reference that we have here. Point number 2. So someone just forwarded an email. We don't know the person here. So let's say we call this Mr. X. So Mr. X is exactly right. Elon says, we may have wished it otherwise, but in my opinion and Mr. X's opinion, I think keeping in mind the size of the shaded portion is the same. Tesla is the only path that could even hope to hold the candle to Google. Even then, the possibility of being the counterweight to Google is small, isn't zero. Now, in the minds of Tesla's founder, Google is huge and he wanted something to compete. So this is what Mr. X sent to Elon Musk. In addition to DeepMind, Google also has the brains. Basically, it's praising Google and saying that it's such a big company. I strongly suspect that compute horsepower will be necessary and possibly even sufficient to reach AI. If historical trends are any indication, progress in AI is primarily driven by systems, compute, data, infrastructure. The core algorithm we use today have remained largely unchanged from the 90s. Not only that, but any algorithmic advances published in the paper somewhere can be almost immediately re-implemented and incorporated. Conversely, algorithmic advances alone are inert without a scale to make them scary. Okay, it seems to me that OpenAI today is burning cash and that the funding model cannot reach this scale to seriously compete with Google, an 800 billion company at that point of time. If you cannot seriously compete but continue to do research in open, you might in fact be making things worse and helping them out for free. So it says that if you're doing this for free, then Google might use the technology or use the papers that you published. But in fact, we came at a later stage when attention is all you need. Paper was published in 2017 by Google. It's the reverse thing happened, which, Google published a paper and OpenAI made use of the paper to be OpenAI or OpenAI today. Any advances are fairly easy for them to copy and immediately incorporate at scale. Okay. A profit for pivot might create a more sustainable revenue stream over time and would, with the current team, likely bring in a lot of investments. However, building out a product from scratch would still focus from AI research. It would take a long time, and if it's unclear if a company could catch up to Google's scale and the investors might exert too much pressure in the wrong directions, the most promising option I can think of, as I mentioned earlier, would be for OpenAI to attach to Tesla as a cash cow. I believe attachments to other large suspects, example Apple or Amazon, would fail due to an incompatible company DNA. Using a rocket analogy, Tesla already built the first stage of the rocket with the supply chain of the Model 3, and the second stage would be a full self-driven solution based on large-scale neural network training, and OpenAI expertise could help accelerate. So it's talking about merging OpenAI as a cash cow to Tesla and funding OpenAI from Tesla. Instead, OpenAI would help in the neural network training as well. So with a functioning full-driven solution in 2 to 3 years, we could sell a lot of trucks and cars. If we do this really well, the transportation industry is likely enough that could reach Tesla's market cap over 100K and use that revenue to fund the AI's work at an appropriate scale. So this is what they had in mind. So what I meant is that the allegation that Elon Musk gave that since you are no profit organization turning for a for-profit organization, that idea came somewhere here. That idea was initially pointed out by Mr. X, and Mr. X pointed this idea to Elon, and Elon agreed with the idea, moved forward, and even suggested to attach OpenAI to Tesla as a cash cow. So let's move on to the earlier section here. So this is where we are. So this is where attaching to Tesla as a cash cow was commented. Now, Elon soon chose to leave OpenAI, saying that our probability of success was 0, which is not true, and that he planned to build the AGI competitor within Tesla. When he left in late February 2018, he told our team he would be supportive of us finding our own path to raise billions of dollars. In December 18, Elon sent us an email saying, even raising several millions won't be enough. This needs billions every year, immediately, or forget it. So let's go to Exhibit 3, the email here. So my probability assessment of OpenAI being relevant to DeepMind's or Google without a dramatic change in execution and resources is 0%. I do agree there's a 0%, but without a dramatic change in execution. There was a dramatic change in execution in the attention we need papers published by Google, and therefore we think and we know we have OpenAI now. For raising several hundred millions won't be enough. These needs billions per year immediately, or forget it. Unfortunately, humanity's future is in the hands of, I don't know who that is, and they are doing a lot more than this. Looking at such a small shaded portion doesn't seem like Google, but humanity's future is in the hands of, I think appropriate word here will be Tesla, like a 5-character word, but let's see. And they're doing a lot more in this, but again, they're using they instead of me. So again, that contradicts this probability of having Tesla in this shaded portion. But let's not hallucinate. Let's focus on what we have. So let's go back to where we were. Okay. So the second topic is done. Elon recognized for a for-profit entity. So the comment that Elon said that a no-profit entity is going towards a for-profit entity that is not known, that was earlier known even and suggested by Elon as well. This is what they claim. Of course, this is just a blog post. I don't know how the court proceedings are, but I think this will not be enough to convince us of what the things were. The emails and everything could be made up. I don't know. We are making our technology broadly usable in ways that empower people and improve their daily lives, including via open source contributions. So they're saying that OpenAI, we advance our mission by building widely available beneficial tools. We provide broad access to today's powerful AI, including a free version of hundreds of millions of users every day, GPT-3. For example, Albania was using OpenAI tools to accelerate its UI mission, blah, 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 of all the good things that GPT-4 and GPT-3 was able to do. Iceland is using a GPT-4 to preserve the Icelandic language. The largest lifespan, the largest healthcare provider in Rhode Island uses GPT-4 to simplify its surgical consent forms from a college reading level to a 6th grade one. Pretty good. Even Elon understood the mission was not imply open source AGI. Ilya told Elon, as we get closer to AGI, it makes sense to start being less open. The open in OpenAI means that everyone should benefit from the fruits of AI after it's built, but it's totally okay to not share the science. I don't know, guys. Please comment. I've also given in the community section of my channel, what do you think of this statement? Do you think that the fruits should only be shared and the science should not be shared? Or do you think we need to share everything? But if you share everything, then there is going to be, sculptures, there is going to be bad persons and they are going to use that technology to create bad stuff. So do we need a control? I don't know. Let's see. We are sad that it's come to this with someone whom we have deeply admired. So they love Elon, someone who inspired us to aim higher, then told us we should fail, that we would fail, started a competition, and then sued us when we are making meaningful progress towards OpenAI's mission without him. We are focused on advancing our mission and we have a long way to go. As we continue to make our tools better and better, we are excited to deploy these systems as they empower every individual. Now, taking all this in, what do you think? We think that even at that time when 17, 18, Google and Facebook were well respected, Apple was well respected, and they have that benchmark set that even Elon Musk was not sure if OpenAI would be able to reach up to that level if it is not merged with Tesla. One another thing that we can see from this conversation is that whatever the emails that has been provided, it could be, very selected email for putting forward their case, showing Elon as wrong. So whatever OpenAI has given in the blog post, we should take that as a grain of salt and let the court proceedings take over and see what is what. As far as I hope, what I want is, mutually agreeable terms, living peacefully, and, Elon Musk and Sam Altman working together to create something better, which is even more better than OpenAI and very good solution for the whole of humanity. Having said that, I'd like to end the video here. Please watch the videos that I have posted on my channel or watch this next video to see how we can use a 1-bit LLM. That's a very good innovation. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.